When you got a YouTube channel, suddenly you end up with a lot of friends. A lot of friends who have broken items or semi-broken items, which this Craftsman light, I think it still works with a catch. Okay, so that is flashing, and this is flashing with different frequency this way, flashing with different frequency that way, and now it's on. Huh. Welcome back to the channel. A friend of mine gave me this thing, and he said it's not working properly. Well, for the casual observer, this seems to be just a light with the new LEDs. You know, it plugs in 110 volts. It's got a label on it, CMX ELA YMPL 1030, made by Craftsman, which at one point was a real famous maker. These days it seems to be making offshoots of higher end models, kind of consumer grade, low grade electronics. This one has a built-in battery, so you can charge it up, and then once you unplug it, it should run on its own. But I think it's not running on its own. So now it's unplugged, I turn it on, and it doesn't come on. So I'm just gonna leave it plugged in to charge, and then we come back to it. So we got a light, and it's flashing rapidly. Maybe it's an error message. Maybe I need to consult the instruction manual. Anyways, we're gonna look into this. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Maybe today we're gonna learn something. After about an hour of charging, I unplugged it. The light is off. If I turn it on, either way, it's not working. So there are, as you can see, two positions for the toggle switch: a single line and a double line. So I think this is a time to take the cover off and see what's inside. Look at that, just normal screws. This is not the plastic specific self-tapping, but just normal screws. Seems to be M4. Cover comes off. Looks like there's a seal, a face seal, that seals the electronics relative to this light, and that's what we got inside. This is the switch. There's the single LED that is flashing. This is where power comes in. We got a board here, and then we got a battery pack. The battery pack doesn't look to be inflated, and it just plugs in here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew this and remove the battery pack and see if there is voltage. It's attached with some kind of double-sided tape. It says on it ANDALI 18650 11.1 2600 milliamp hours. So it's got 3 cells, 18650 size. Those are the, you know, default Samsung batteries, or you can call them early Tesla. So let's have a look and see if it has voltage. The battery is at 1.38 volts, so that's not good. It's either the battery, one of the cells is faulty, or there's something wrong with the charging circuit. So these batteries are 3.7 volt nominal, so when you take 3 of them and you connect it in series, then you got the 11.1 volts. So if one of the cells is faulty, that will render the entire cell faulty. So I'm going to go cut this up and measure each cell individually. These are pink cells under a blue tape. It's got insulation at the end here, pretty thick insulation. So you can see the construction. So what we got here is, voltage starts here at this end, and then you have a bridge, and that connects these 2 batteries together. There's probably another bridge here, and then one lead wire takes the voltage from this cell to the electronics. So we got some electronics here that is looking after the cells. These are Samsung cells, ICR 18650 SDIM. That code probably tells someone something. It doesn't tell me anything. So here is a temperature sensor that is monitoring the batteries. You can see it's just monitoring these 2 cells. So if this guy goes haywire, it's probably not gonna pick it up right away. It will have some thermal lag until the heat from that one propagates through, and then this is gonna pick it up, tell the brain box to shut it off. So what we're gonna do is carefully disconnect or remove, and then try to measure each cell individually. There's something about cutting through red wires. Since the MacGyver era, for younger folks, the MacGyver was a series in the TV, and that guy can always escape from anywhere. He always found himself in the worst of worst situations, and he always managed to escape. Some more Kapton tape. Here's the thermal sensor. This is a BK05BB5D temperature monitor. Google says it's 40, but I think the dash line after this says 65C. So I think it's sensing at 65C. So when the temperature of these cells goes above or near 65C, it will disconnect. So as you can see, these tabs here that are welded to the cells, they directly soldered to this board. So this cell is 1.6 volts. This one doesn't show anything. The center cell doesn't show any voltage. Okay, so these 2 are connected. So this one is 3.54 volts. This one, the side one, is good. So that's 3.5 volts. The center one is dead. And then the one at the edge is 3.5 volts. So the center cell is dead. Because why not, right? That is the hardest to replace. So let me go and look. Check this out. Even the color matches with well-done terminals. It's got a little Kapton tape. It's been in a box probably for 2 years or longer. So let's see at the rest of the denomination. These are ICR 18650, so that matches Samsung, although it's a different font. And then this is 26J, this is 26H. I think that must be the discharge capability. 26H, 26JM. So I'd say this is gonna be a great match if I can make it happen. I don't have spot welding capability at this point, but I'll try my best to put this together, because why not? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let's measure this cell to see if it's good. You can see it's 3.57 volts, so that should be fine to replace this one. Again, it measures at 0 volts, so this is definitely faulty. I'm gonna go and remove this terminal. Come on, Valor. And then I can pop this open. Fuck, that's hot. This is just hot glue holding it together. Just gonna cut through the metal terminals like so. Strips. Do the same thing on the top, and you can see it's still connected to the board, so I need to carefully cut this without shorting anything. There you go. So you can see this cell is definitely dead, and it's a Samsung cell. It always makes me think, you know, if two of them are fine, you know, how come this guy is dead? Nothing wrong with this one. Doesn't seem to be faulty. There's no bulging on it. It didn't get hot. There's no discoloration. It's just simply faulty. Might be one of these internal connections. You would think that the billions of these cells that Samsung makes, they figured it out, but they didn't. Successfully replaced the center cell. Here's the old one. It's got 0 voltage. Added some hot glue to reinforce it. And then some of these wires I had to replace, but it had 10.8 volts in it, and I charged it overnight, and right now it's displaying 12.54 volts, so it's fully charged. I don't have a shrink fit casing for it, so I'm just gonna use the old one and some electrical tape. I did not burn down anything, and I did not blow up anything. And when you put these together, they rarely go back like they were originally, just like when it was brand new. Good as new. So let's go and plug it back in like so. see if it works. Look at that. That's high beam, low beam. It works like a charm. And again, it's not plugged in, so here's the wire. It's completely running on battery power now. So all I need to do is add this bracket, assemble it back. Remember which one screw is holding it, not like there's one too many screws. It's so cool when the world suddenly makes sense and then the parts go back to their original position. Now someone designed this gasket here. This seems to be some kind of rubberized gasket, and I assume there's a machine in the factory that will place this. Manufacturing absolutely hates dispensable materials because it's real hard to control, but gaskets like this work a lot better. So many times when there are gaskets like this, they have features that will lock them in to these grooves. Again, everything is about manufacturing. If you can crank these out and all of them work first time, that's what manufacturing likes. Now it's just about installing these 4 bolts and then we are golden. And that was that. So if I plug this in and I turn it on, you can see it works. So it's got like a high beam and a low beam. And then if I unplug it, long and behold, it stays on. Now I have no idea how long it's gonna stay on. I'm happy I was able to fix it. So that will be a wrap for today. I appreciate your eyes and ears. I also appreciate your brain in case you click the like button or venture into subscribing into my channel if you haven't done so. See you on the next one. Take care. High beam, higher beam. That must be a low beam. High beam. Low beam. High beam. Sony camera test. Man, that's a heavy gauge cable here. It's a heavy freaking gauge cable. It's got some writing on it. Fiat Leus 3181979 SJTW 3/C 18 AWG 0.824 millimeters squared, 105 degrees, 300 volts, VW1 FT1. That's a heavy duty cable. It's got grounded plug. It's got some feature here for that prong that's sticking out. And also I noticed this, look at that. You see it's got this feature here so that you can go and wind the cable up when you don't use the unit and just store it. So I think that's pretty cool. Although you can see that there is no locating feature here, or like some kind of snapping feature where, you know, it would hold the plug. How about that? This is one of those things that if you don't have a light in the attic or in a crawl space, it's a great thing. But you always have to plan ahead and make sure it's fully charged. And now I shut up. See you next time, or whatever.